Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. Before we dive into today's fascinating little experiment, I want to take a quick moment to send out my very best wishes to each and every one of you watching. Seriously, I hope you're feeling fantastic today, full of energy, and that you and your loved ones are staying happy and healthy. Taking care of yourselves is the most important thing. Now, get ready, because today we're going to unlock a secret superpower of plants that happens right under our noses, using stuff you probably already have in your kitchen. We're talking about how plants drink water, specifically this amazing trick called capillary action, and we're going to see it happen with our own eyes. It's simple, it's beautiful, and it's absolutely fundamental to life on Earth. Imagine you dip the corner of a paper towel into a spill. You watch, maybe a little mesmerized, as the water seems to magically defy gravity, creeping up the dry paper, spreading further and further away from the puddle. That's capillary action in action. It's the same force that helps kerosene climb up a lamp wick or makes a sponge soak up a mess. Plants use this exact same principle, but instead of paper towels, they have incredibly tiny, super special tubes running through their stems, leaves, and roots. Think of these tubes like microscopic drinking straws, but way more clever. How does water manage to climb upwards inside these tiny tubes, sometimes reaching the tops of giant trees, without a pump or a motor? That's the magic we're exploring today, and we can see it clearly with a classic, simple experiment. The star of our show today is going to be something humble: celery. Yep, ordinary celery stalks you get from the grocery store. Why celery? Because it has those visible strings running along its length. Those are actually bundles containing the tiny water-carrying tubes, called xylem vessels, we're interested in. We need stalks that are fresh and crisp, so they still have plenty of water flowing through them. Go ahead and grab a few stalks. We'll also need some clear glasses or jars. Tall ones work best so the celery can stand upright. And the key ingredient? Food coloring. Bright colors like red, blue, or green work wonderfully. You'll also need some water and maybe a sharp knife or scissors. That's it. See? Super simple household items. Alright, let's get our experiment set up. Fill your clear glasses about halfway or 2/3 full with plain tap water. Now, add a generous amount of food coloring to each glass. You want the water to be quite darkly colored. This makes the effect much easier to see later. Stir it well so the color is fully mixed in. Next, take your celery stalks. If they have leafy tops, that's perfect. Leave them on. Those leaves are like little water pumps helping pull the liquid up. Using your knife or scissors, carefully trim off the very bottom end of each celery stalk. You want a fresh, clean cut. Why? Because the old cut might have started to heal over or get blocked, just like a scab on your skin, and that would make it harder for the colored water to enter the tubes. A fresh cut opens up those tiny tubes nice and wide. Immediately place the freshly cut end of the celery stalk down into the glass of colored water. Make sure it's standing upright and submerged by at least an inch or so. Do this for as many stalks as you have glasses and colors. Now, the hardest part: patience. Find a safe spot for your glasses where they won't get knocked over, maybe near a window but not in direct, scorching sunlight, and just let them sit. Go have some lunch, watch another video, come back later. After about an hour or two, go take a peek. You might start to see something interesting already. Look closely at the submerged end of the celery stalk. See those little colored dots appearing along the cut surface? That's the colored water starting to enter those bundles of tubes. It might look like tiny pinpricks of color. That's step one. Now leave it longer. Check back after 3 to 4 hours, or even better, leave it overnight. This is when the real magic becomes visible. Carefully pull one stalk out of the water. Look at the bottom cut end again. Wow! Instead of just dots, you should see distinct lines or streaks of color running up from the bottom, following those stringy parts we talked about. It looks like the celery has been tattooed with the color. This is the colored water traveling upwards inside the plant's plumbing system. But we're not done yet. Look higher up the stalk. If you look really closely, especially if you hold it up to the light, you might start to see the color reaching further up the stalk. And if you left it overnight, check out the leaves. The very tips of the leaves, especially the smaller, younger ones, might show faint traces of the color. That colored water has traveled all the way from the glass, up the stalk, and out into the leaves. So, what on earth just happened? How did that colored water climb up against gravity? This is capillary action at work. Let's break it down simply. Think about water itself. Water molecules are sticky little things. They like to stick to each other. That's called cohesion. Think of water droplets beating up, and they also like to stick to other surfaces. That's called adhesion. Now, imagine the inside of one of those incredibly tiny tubes, xylem vessels, in the celery. The walls of this tube are made of plant material that water molecules find attractive. Water wants to stick to these walls. Because the tube is so incredibly narrow, like microscopic narrow, the water molecules creeping along the wall, because they're sticking to it, pull other water molecules along with them, because they're sticking to each other. It's like a chain reaction. The water clinging to the tube wall pulls the next molecule up, which pulls the next one, and so on. This creates a continuous upward pull on the entire column of water inside the tube. It's not super fast or super powerful over huge distances on its own, but it's incredibly effective in these tiny spaces. But wait, celery isn't that tall, and trees are enormous. Capillary action alone isn't strong enough to pull water hundreds of feet up a giant redwood tree. Plants have another amazing trick working alongside capillary action: transpiration. Remember those leaves at the top? They are constantly losing tiny amounts of water vapor into the air through little pores, kind of like sweating. This process is called transpiration. As water evaporates from the leaf cells, it creates a slight emptiness, a tiny suction, pulling on the water molecules right behind it in the leaf veins. That pull gets transmitted down the veins, into the stems, and all the way down to the roots. It's like sucking very gently on a very long straw. This suction pull from the leaves, combined with the capillary action happening in the millions of tiny tubes throughout the plant, creates a continuous flow of water from the roots, up the stem, and out to the leaves. It's a brilliant system. The water brings along dissolved minerals it picked up from the soil through the roots, delivering vital nutrients to every part of the plant. And when the water reaches the leaves and evaporates, it also helps cool the plant down, just like sweating cools us. Our celery experiment beautifully shows the capillary part of this system. The food coloring acts like a dye tracer, making the path of the water visible. When you see those colored streaks running up the celery stalk, you're literally seeing the highways that water uses inside the plant. The fact that the color reaches the leaves shows the connection is complete, from the water source to the very tips. If you were incredibly patient and had a microscope, you could even see this happening in individual tiny tubes. But seeing it on the celery stalk is dramatic enough. It shows us that plants aren't just passively sitting there. They have an active, dynamic system constantly moving fluids around. This system keeps them hydrated, fed, and cool. Without capillary action and transpiration, plants couldn't grow tall. They couldn't make the food we eat through photosynthesis, which needs water, and life as we know it simply wouldn't exist. You can try this experiment with other things too. White carnations are famous for showing capillary action dramatically. Their white petals will turn the color of the water beautifully. Try white daisies or even the stems of fresh herbs like parsley. Just make sure they have stems that can draw up water effectively. Try different colors in different glasses. What happens if you split a celery stalk lengthwise partway up and put one half in blue water and the other half in red water? How far does each color travel? Does it mix? Experimenting is half the fun. Remember to use fresh cuts each time you try a new plant or start over. You can also see capillary action without plants. Take 2 clear glasses. Fill one with colored water, leave the other empty. Roll up a paper towel tightly into a long strip. Place one end in the glass with water and drape the other end into the empty glass. Watch over the next few hours or day as the colored water travels up the paper towel, over the bridge, and down into the empty glass. This is pure capillary action, no plant needed, showing how water moves through porous materials. It's truly incredible to realize that this simple phenomenon, visible with kitchen items, is a cornerstone of how plants survive and thrive. It connects the earth to the sky, quite literally. within every blade of grass, every flower, and every mighty oak. The next time you water your plants, or see dew on leaves in the morning, or even just wipe up a spill with a paper towel, remember the invisible force of capillary action silently doing its crucial work. It's a beautiful reminder of the elegant engineering found throughout nature, often hidden in plain sight. Thanks so much for joining me in this exploration today. I hope you found it as fascinating as I do. Give this experiment a try. It's simple, safe, and truly eye-opening. Wishing you all a wonderful day filled with curiosity and discovery. Stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.